everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here with a wig review for you guys. I am bringing you this review in partnership with Name Brand Wigs. They sent me this wig so that I could share her with all of you. This is a brand new wig by Rene of Paris. Her name is Tara, and she's in the brand new color Maple Frost. So not only do we have a brand new style, but we have a brand new color. And I'm so thrilled. I love bringing new styles to you guys. It's just so fun. For a wig wearer, it's just a thrill. And I have some really interesting things to share with you about this wig. So if you like styles like this, then you definitely want to stick around for the rest of this video to hear the pros and the cons about this style. Name Brand Wigs is one of my favorite retailers. There are a number of great retailers out there. We're so blessed as wig wearers to have so many choices. And Name Brand Wigs has been listed as one of my trusted retailers for quite some time. If you're not familiar with them, please check them out at www.namebrandwigs.com. They have great pricing, they have great sales, they have a blog, they have education, and you can always reach out to their support team to help you if you have any wig wearing questions. Their email is support@namebrandwigs.com. I just am thrilled to be a partner of theirs. And on some styles, if you use the code Denise30, you can get 30% off. Not all retailers allow coupons like that, but some do. So you might want to try that next time you place an order and see if you can get 30% off with that coupon. Anyway, if you want to know more about this super cute style, then stick around. I'll tell you all about her. You know, whenever I see styles like this, I get super excited because I just have a love of these fun, kind of flirty, chin length, curly, layered styles. I just think they're so fun, and it's hair that I always wanted and never could have. But sometimes styles like this present some challenges as well. And this one definitely has challenges. So I want you guys to watch this review all the way through if you're considering this, and I'm going to share with you my opinions and thoughts that might help you if this is a style you're thinking of purchasing, because I honestly do not think this is an easy to wear style right out of the box. It is so cute, but I think you're going to have to be prepared to do some things to it to make it wearable. Let's take a look at her from all sides, and then I'll start telling you about what I mean. Okay, so one thing I want you to notice in the back is it's got a really unique cut. So it's got an under layer that is very straight and sort of razor cut. And then on top of that, it has this sort of fun kind of curl pattern that really makes it unique. So look right here. Do you see this at the nape, how it's straight? And then you've got this layer over the top. That is so unique. I have never seen a style like that before. Very fun and very unique. The curl pattern on this one is the kind that you can get with a flat iron. So I'm sure some of you are aware that flat irons can be used to curl. That's a little bit of a skill that's hard for some people to master. But if you watch videos of people showing you how to use a straightener or a flat iron to curl, this is the kind of curl that you'll see. And what I've seen a lot of people do is do an alternating curl with those. So they'll like take the front section and they'll kind of curl it away. Then they'll take the next section and they'll curl it toward. And then they'll keep alternating all across. So you've got this messy, uneven curl pattern that is just really kind of trendy and cool. That's what this reminds me of. It's not uniform, it's not, you know, super symmetrical. And so if you're looking for a style that's very symmetrical and uniform and polished. This is not quite that, but I think it's a great style if you're looking for a wig that you can wear to girls' night or for date night or out to a wedding or someplace where it looks like you actually took time to give your hair a fun style. That's what this reminds me of. It very much is like that. But yet it's not too perfect. So it really is youthful. I think this is a very youthful style that a lot of kind of my 30-something, 20-something wig sisters might really love. Of course, us 50-year-olds and my 60 and 70-year-old wig sisters can absolutely wear this. But I just think about certain styles appealing to certain people. And this one feels really fun and kind of trendy. Let me talk about the challenges that I am having with it though, and then I'll get into the cap construction and the density and all of that. You can see it's very much hanging in my face. This was a difficult one for me to even get trained this far. I really struggled with all of the hair hanging in my face. And this is the second time I've filmed this review. The first time there was something wrong with my camera settings and the color didn't look right. But when I started that video, I actually started it with the front clipped up because I was having so much trouble keeping it off my face. I didn't even think I could do the beginning of the review very well. But I've now worn this one. You know, I wore it for that review. I've taken some pictures. I've done some other things. And so as I've worn it, as I've played with it, it is starting to train a bit off the face, which makes this a lot more wearable. But I really think that if this is a style that you want, unless you're going to wear it out on a, date night or something where it's okay if the hair sort of hangs in your face, that's sort of the look you're going for. If you plan to wear this for, just running around, running errands or to work or something like that, you're really going to have to be prepared to do some work on this one or to style it so that it doesn't hang in your face. I think this style is so cute for clips and twists. So one of my favorite things to do with a sort of curly wig like this is take the fibers and I just do a simple twist. And then I take a claw clip and I just clip it, and that will solve the problem of this hanging in your face really well. So if you're not prepared to take a thinning shears to a wig or to trim a wig or to steam a wig, I definitely think you can style this one in a variety of ways with clips and bobby pins and headbands so that you can keep this off your face. And if you do it just right, it will really play up the curl pattern. But that is my biggest caution. Out of the box, this hangs very much in your face. I really believe it's just a function of the style, not necessarily of this piece. I can see from the way that they constructed it, I don't know that you're going to get much different from other pieces. The other thing is it's very heavy. This bang area is very heavy. So it may be a wig that you will need to thin a little bit in the front to give it a little bit more realism. Again, it really depends on your comfort level, what you like from your style, how you plan to wear the wig, your features, all of those things. But for me personally, this wig would take quite a bit of work to be able to wear it comfortably the way that it hangs in the front. Other than that though, it's a super cute style, and it's a moderate density, so it's not super heavy. I have I'm gonna forget the name of it now, Eden by Noriko, and Noriko and Rene of Paris are all part of the Adirond's line. This reminds me quite a bit of Eden, but Eden is so incredibly front heavy. I thinned mine and that still isn't enough. This one is a sort of similar style to that. It's not quite as dense and not quite as heavy. That is really awesome. I love that. Let's talk about the cap construction on this. So this wig has a lace front and a mono part. It is kind of a center mono part. It's just slightly off center, but mainly it's a center mono part. And then you've got a sort of shallow lace front. So I'll show you what the implications of the shallowness of that lace front are. But look at how thick that lace front is. what's great about that is if you don't really like to center part your hair, you've got a lot of room to work so that you could actually change the part and it still will look pretty realistic. Estetica does that with a few of their wigs. Finn is that way. Ocean is that way, where it doesn't have a monofilament, but it has a thick lace front that gives you some flexibility. So while this is mainly a sort of a center mono part, it's a fairly wide one, so you can get it off center and you can fudge it around in the front there and part it, and you've got all that space that makes it look more realistic. So that's really unique and kind of fun. The ear tabs are the lace, the rougher lace material. They're not soft, velvety material. They do have metal stays in them so you can get a more secure fit. You don't really have an extended nape here, and Rene of Paris wigs come with these pull adjusters, like the bra strap adjusters. I find Rene of Paris wigs to fit me generally pretty well, but they do run just a little, sometimes can run a little bit snug. So I would say this one is running a little true to average, maybe slightly smaller than average. So if you are a large circumference or have a lot of large measurements, I'm going to caution you that this one has some stretch, not a ton, but I have a 22-inch circumference and it's really kind of fitting me pretty perfectly. And I do get just the tiniest bit of extra cap up here, but not much. So I would say this is average to a little bit smaller than average. That's how it's fitting me. And I want you to see when I put it on, it does go on really easily. So I do think if you get this one and you play with it a lot and you train these fibers, you will eventually get them to do what you want them to do. There is not a ton of Permatease on this. There is a little bit of crimpy fibers, but as I put my hands into the cap, I feel straight down to cap. I feel no poofy, pillowy Permatease. So you're not going to have any big poofy, pillowy parts. You're not going to get a ton of volume out of this one because of that, but the way that they layered it and they put these curls in, it's definitely not a super flat wig. So if you're looking for a super flat, no Permatease style, I would say this will maybe meet your requirements on the Permatease, but not really on the flatness. And quite honestly, you're probably not looking for curls like this if you're looking for super flat, because they wouldn't look good if they were super flat. So I do think they did kind of a perfect job on the Permatease. I think it will fit a lot of people's needs. I do feel more Permatease right up here at the crown, which gives it, you know, that little bit of a volume at the crown, but nothing crazy or insane. So really good. Let's talk about the lace front. So Rene of Paris is generally known as more of a fashion line as opposed to kind of your everyday wig wearing line. They do take some chances on style and on color, and so they can be a really fun brand if you want to get some fun, different types of wigs. But with that, you don't always get the most realistic lace fronts. So I have found that Rene of Paris lace fronts, first of all, you can kind of see it a little bit on me. It doesn't blend perfectly with my skin. The lace material that they use is a little bit thicker than some of the other brands. So it is a bit of a hardier lace front because it's got a thickness that will probably withstand a lot, but it isn't always the most natural looking. And then they do tend to look knotty on the darker colors. You can kind of see those knots. I have seen much, much worse lace fronts though. But if you're very sensitive to knotting on lace fronts, I want you to be aware that on Rene of Paris, darker wigs, rooted wigs, you can generally see the knots. Now, there's things you can do about that. And I have a Tip Tuesday video out there where I show you how to pluck a lace front a little bit. I show you how to pluck a part line, where if it's a little too knotty and too densely knotted, you can pluck a few of these. That will give it some more realism. And then you can take some translucent powder or makeup and dab it on there, and that will hide some of those knots as well. Again, this is actually a really good lace front for this line. And I think with just a little bit of makeup, I would probably just dab a little powder on there personally. I could totally like pin this up and wear it off my face. That would not be an issue. The fact that the lace is a little bit shallow, so it only goes from here to here, just means that you're not going to be pulling it way far back unless you want to take some makeup to blend that transition. But you can still get a lot of bang for your buck by pulling it up in the front and doing some twists or a top knot or something like that. You have plenty of space to do that. And like I said before, I think the way that these curls are, and the length and the layers, I honestly think that if you're comfortable doing a little bit of fun styling, you can put a little top knot in there with some bobby pins, you can do some twists, you can wear a headband and pull this up. I really think that you can make this wig work even if you don't want to trim it or thin it in the front, because it's not such a heavy density that sometimes if a wig has too heavy of a density, it's too hard to style. This one's going to be super easy and super fun to style. And then if you want to get some water in there and do some scrunching, if you want to put some product in and do some scrunching, I think that you can make this into something really, really cute. So that in and of itself, I think is fun. One last look here before I talk about color at this bottom here. So you've got that straight bottom and then a lot of layers up here. I think that this just needs a little bit of product and a little bit of scrunching, and I really think it's going to be just adorable. You can sort of tuck it. So the challenge you would have with tucking it is the way that these curls are, they're pretty much at the bottom. So if you want to tuck them, you're just going to have to sort of work your way around the curls to tuck it. And the other thing about tucking this one, and this is true for me of a lot of Rene of Paris wigs, these ear tabs are pretty substantial and they come really low on me. That gives me great coverage, so I get really good coverage from my bio hair because these ear tabs come all the way down to here, but it doesn't give me a lot of clearance to do tucking. That is something I experience a lot with this brand, and it's sort of that trade-off between having it be super tuckable and having good coverage. But again, it depends on your head size, your measurements, your head shape, how that's going to work for you. I would find wearing glasses with them fairly uncomfortable for long periods of time because of where these fall on me. They may not fall there on you, so keep that in mind. All right, you guys, let's talk about this color. Let me grab, I think I said it was Maple Frost, right? Yeah, Maple Frost. I love this color. If you are a brunette who likes warm, caramely brunettes, you like that kind of caramel tone to it, you like something more medium brown. Now it has a darker brown root, but all of this is more of a medium with just beautiful caramel tones throughout, and it's actually got a few like visible highlights. So gorgeous. So you can see we've got some highlighting going on here, and then it's alternated with some of that really beautiful chocolatey medium brown. And then you've got a root, but it's not extreme. It's just such a compliment to the rest of the color. It just looks like somebody very skilled gave you a beautiful highlighted color. It doesn't pull really red. I would say it's a chocolate with a lot of this is a caramel color. I don't really see red. I get that question a lot about brunettes. Does it pull red? I'm not really seeing red on this one. But it is warm, and the highlights are more of a caramel, not really blonde. It's kind of a caramel. And it's not stripy. The highlights aren't super thick. So I think this is such a pretty color. I think back to when I was first wearing wigs, I gravitated towards the dark browns because, well, number one, my hair is naturally fairly dark, but I would color it with a box color of a dark brown, either a 2 or a 4, because it helped me blend the Topic powder better. So I was super used to darks. This, in the very beginning, would have felt very light to me because I didn't do highlighted. I just did sort of flat, dark browns. As I started to get a little more comfortable with gentle highlighting and I wanted to gravitate toward lighter, this would have been so perfect because it's still a dark brown, medium dark brown, and the highlights aren't blonde, but it's just a beautiful highlight that kind of warms it up, brightens it up, but it didn't feel super foreign to me. So I think my brunette sisters are gonna love this color. Absolutely love this color. Let's get outside and take a look at this color outside. I think I covered everything, so what's left is to show you this color outside. So let's go do that now, and then you can see what I mean by just the nice caramel color and the warmth. All right, here we are outside. It's nice and windy, so you'll get to see how this wig moves out here. The first thing I want to say before I talk too much about the color yet is I forgot to talk about the fibers. I think they feel incredibly realistic. They feel really good. They're nice and soft. They've got a good denier. They're not too light and wispy, but they're not super heavy duty. They're sort of an in-between or a medium denier. And they do not have a lot of shine to them. So this does not, I do not see this as a shiny wig at all. I don't think that you'll need any dry shampoo. So while you may struggle with the heaviness in the front, it's very realistic looking, and it doesn't look like a synthetic wig at all. Let's look at this color. I'm just in love with this color. It's just beautiful. Can you see the beautiful caramel highlights? There's a good one right there. And then you've got a bit of a root, but it's not extreme, and it's a very, very complementary color to the rest of this wig. I think it's one that's going to be, you know, it's going to be more appropriate for someone looking for sort of a messy, fun style. It's just sort of that. It's a trendy cut, a little bit of a messy style, not super polished, but I definitely think it's got some fantastic styling potential. All right, you guys, hopefully that gave you what you needed. I think I forgot to mention bangs too, so if you're looking to cut bangs into this one, I definitely think you can do that. I think it lays just right. And the curls start lower. They don't start up here, so I don't think you would be dealing with maybe a curl, a wayward curl in the bang area. One last close-up. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.